Hello, I'm Professor Susan DeGise. This tutorial is on Practice 3.9b. Directions. Listen to the following examples and write an appropriate tempo marking. Okay, I'm going to do number 1 with you, so let me go ahead and play the recording first. Okay, that was quite fast, yes? All right, so think of the faster tempo markings we learned. So this one, Rimsky-Korsakov labeled it as vivace. But other tempos you might use are presto, maybe even prestissimo. I'd say it's a little slow to call it allegro. Okay, so it's got to be one of the really fast ones. Okay, now let's listen to number 2. Okay, so what tempo marking did you think that was? That wasn't too fast, right? So take a moment to think about what tempo marking that would be. Okay, so Verdi labeled this as allegretto. Did you get allegretto? Another one I would say is okay is moderato. It's not quite fast enough to be allegro and not quite slow enough to be andante. So allegretto or moderato I think would be acceptable for this one. Now let's go ahead and listen to number 3. Right, that was pretty slow, yes? So what tempo marking would you put? Go ahead, if you need to look at the chart and think about which of those tempo markings would you use. So adagio is what Bach used. What else would be acceptable? Probably andante. Andante would be okay. Now something like largo is very slow, so I wouldn't say this is largo. And something like allegretto would be a little bit too up-paced for this, so either adagio or andante I think would be okay for this one. All right, now let's listen to the last one. Right, so that was pretty upbeat, not extremely fast like the Rimsky-Korsakov, but pretty fast. So why don't you go ahead and pick a tempo marking for this one. All right, so what Brahms chose was he wrote allegro. Okay, so did you get allegro? Allegro is a very common one, basically means fast. I would say allegretto is okay. It could be kind of not that fast, but I would definitely say it's not vivace, it's not presto, it's not prestissimo, it's not super fast, but it is upbeat, so I would not call it andante or adagio. Those are more of the slower tempos. So again, for these tempo markings, as you start reading more music, learning more music, you're just going to encounter more and more of these words. Don't ignore them. If you're learning a piece of music and it says adagio, be sure you know what that means, because it's really going to make a difference on how you perform the piece, how you interpret it. If you have any questions about dynamic marks, please reread section 3.9. You've now completed the tutorial for practice 3.9b. Thank you for watching.